So you're very welcome to the second video in our series of chats with Vincent Guido, the MD of Clean Sweep Facilities, who is going to give us a real insight and especially something that will benefit property managers on how to get the very best out of your cleaning company. Today, Vincent, you're going to talk about industry challenges. Well, can you tell us what are the industry challenges?
Sure. There is a good few of them, but the main one really, I think everybody knows, is um, the relatively low cost to entry into this industry and only the very minimal differentiation of the sellers of the service. So therefore, cleaning services are largely cost-driven in general. So this cost-centered focus has led many contractors to cut corners in order to stay competitive. And the result is quite sad, inconsistent service. Another challenge is there is constant pressure from property managers to get the best value uh, from their clients, board of directors, which unfortunately quite often means get me the cheapest or get me good value. Um, and the lack of proper understanding what's the cleaning service about, whether it makes sense to pay higher price rather than just going for the cheapest.
Okay, so because of the difficulty in staying in business and because maybe the slim margins, very few companies actually grow to that stage of providing a really good service because it takes them time to maybe build up their systems and processes. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Consider the statistics that 80% of businesses, and actually in cleaning business, I think this percentage is higher. 80% of the companies will go out of business in the first 5 years, and whoever is left will go 80% out of business in the next 5 years. So this is a really long game with a very low margins, profit margins. So whoever is jumping into this industry um, has to face a lot of challenges.
So that's all very interesting, Vincent. Any other problems or challenges that you see?
Well, to add to the problem, I should mention that this is not a actual product, but a service. So service is actually intangible thing. It's more difficult to see the results. Another problem is you are dealing with an invisible enemy, which is bacteria and all sort of dirt that not always you see that. Another problem is this is a worldwide problem with any service or product is there is a fear of change. Clients are afraid to change the service because they like to stay with their old service provider no matter how bad they are. So the result is they are getting the same poor service year after year. Another thing to mention is um, as many property managers have noticed that at any recession, cleaning companies are springing like mushrooms, offering their cheap or affordable service, very low prices. Um, this way, they are putting more pressure on already struggling current um, market, and this makes actually for the cleaning service provider to makes it even harder for them to improve their service. Another problem just to mention is quite often when a service provider is losing uh, their contract, they're not always told the reason why, so they're not able to improve. They don't have any chance to improve. that's basically what's happening.
So that's all very interesting, Vincent. And it brings our video and our topic for today nearly to a close. One last thing is your tip of the day. And remember, Vincent is giving a tip in each one of these videos that will help towards creating more consistent cleaning. So Vincent, what is your tip for today?
Sure. A simple tip is try to look at what sort of systems they have to ensure the consistency of service. And to do that, you just have a short conversation with the cleaners and ask them, in case if something happens, how do they ensure the consistency, and see what they're saying. Because quite often the cleaners don't have really rigid consistency systems. Because remember, to find a service that is solving your cleaning problems in a consistent way is almost like finding a needle in a haystack. It's just that difficult. And you're trying to find this service through, you're trying to recognize this service through, and you're going through a lot of noise in the market. That's why it just puts another level of difficulty, the noise in the market. And yeah, that's my tip today.
Vincent, thank you very much. That was really worthwhile. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Brendan.